So the second University of Michigan player to go in this game, Roy Vaught. Vaught is a power forward and a player that I know Doug Collins likes a lot. Some people say that he's got the potential rebounding-wise to be a Charles Oakley type. Doug, what's your thinking about this player?
Well, if he can be a Charles Oakley, then he's going to be tremendous, because Oakley is as good as there is in the game at rebounding the basketball. I like this kid. He runs the floor very well. He's got soft hands. He's an underrated shooter to 15 to 17 feet. He played on a very talented team, and you still look at the numbers that he threw up there. Weaknesses, you talk about, the success of the Michigan grads in recent history. You talked about the problems of a Roy Tarpley, Gary Grant going to the Clippers, having some injury problems. We'll see now what Roy Vaught does, but I like his upside. He's a big, strong, power player.
Well, again, obviously they didn't feel that either of the two centers, Caldwell or Ortho Simpson, was good enough to be the player that they wanted. And right now, as you watch a little bit of action, you get the chance to watch Vaught playing. You can see the nice little move, a little turnaround shot, good touch there. And again, powerful player inside, works real well, can block some shots, rebounds, and they like him, obviously. But now, I'll tell you right now, if I'm Mike Schiller, I'm saying, man, I can't wait to get to training camp, because he talked about having some talent to work with. I mean, with him added on to the likes of Charles Smith and Danny Manning, and you get a healthy Harper back. I mean, this could be a powerful ball club. A Bo Kimbrell, watch out, Clippers.
All right, let's go up to Craig Sager now and meet Roy Vaught from Michigan.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. This is probably the busiest man in the offseason. You went to camps, you tried to improve your game, you also visited 12 teams. How do you feel about going to the Clippers?
I love the Clippers. All my life, I've been superstitious, and people say 13 is an unlucky number, but today is real lucky for me. And I want to say I'm coming to see you, Gary.
He's got some friends out there in Los Angeles, but the thing I'm impressed with is he's got a handshake of a man. It's a man's position that you're going to play power forward. How do you feel about playing against some of the bigger people in the NBA?
It's going to be a challenge, but everything in life is a challenge, and I'm going to have to extend a lot of hard work to meet the goals that I've set for myself. I've come a long way in this game, and I think my best basketball is in front of me, and hopefully it'll remain to be seen.
Well, the Clippers got a lot of camaraderie going. Charles Smith has been here. He shook your hand. I know he'll be happy to see you when you get out there.
Oh, yeah, maybe I can come in and help him get some rebounds so he can get more offense going. But I like to play under the paint. Rebounding is my specialty, and I hope I can provide that for the Clippers.
And, of course, Gary Grant, he's very welcome to see you out there. Bo Kimbrell wants to talk to you over here as well.
All right. Again, Gary, he told me that he had heard some stuff about me coming to L.A. He was right, and I'm coming to see everybody, and it's going to be great having Bo as a teammate.
One happy man to be an L.A. Clipper. Go back to Bob.
So 2 players from Michigan have been selected, Rumeal Robinson and Roy Vaught. There are 2 other players who are potential first-rounders from Michigan in this draft also, Sean Higgins and Terry Mills. If all 4 players were to go in the first round, it would be the first time in history that 4 players from one university went in the first round. That's yet to be seen. Coming up next, we have the Sacramento Kings with their second pick of this young draft.
Yeah, and I tell you, there's some very disappointed people back there in Sacramento right now, because I know that they really like Lloyd Vaught. They also like Tyrone Hill. Both of them have gone, and maybe somewhat of a surprise. And so now they have to decide. Obviously, they were thinking big in this position. You talk about, well, Caldwell is the guy that's still around as far as the big guy in Chinsis. And Dwayne keeps slipping down a little bit further here in the draft. You see the strengths. Tisdale, they've gotten Carr, some nice strong forwards. They certainly obviously could use the center. I think right now that Caldwell looks like the one logical choice if you're going to go big.
Well, also, too, there's a lot of speculation they want to move Danny Ainge, and if they move him, then it leaves really Vinny Del Negro as one of the only guards out there. So let's see where they go. Red, big, small.
And Mays is still out there.
That's right. Well, we'll see what's happening.
Yeah, and I might mention Eric Lechner and Bobby Hansen have already gone to Sacramento in a trade with Utah and Washington, that freeway deal. Let's go to David Stern.
With the 14th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Travis Mays from Texas.
Travis Mays from the University of Texas, a 6'2" big guard. He was also on the all-tournament team in Orlando, a penetrator. He can stop and pop. They say has NBA three-point range, pretty good defender. When you take a look at his resume, this is a very solid basketball player.
Not only that, but he's a tough kid. And remember, Dick Motta had tremendous success with a guy named Norm Van Leer as one of his guards. I'm sure that this kid reminds him a little bit of that kind of player. A very tough player, terrific competitor. They needed a guard. I think this is a very good selection for them.
And I tell you what, Bob, I don't think they felt that he was going to be available. You can see his statistics there, 24 points, 5 rebounds. little over 2 assists, but again, a very strong player, can shoot from some distance, and Sacramento probably very pleased that he managed to slide down to that spot. They were going to go big only because I think they didn't feel that they could get a quality guard. They feel they've got one made.
Well, the Sacramento Kings going to have to wear name tags. They're going to have so many new players, 2 in the draft. They've already picked up 2 in the trade. So Travis Mays, shot selection, yes, maybe a weakness, but he is a good player. He can penetrate and he can shoot it from outside.
Well, what I like is the first thing, he's a big-time competitor. When you play 90 to 100 games a year, that's what you want. This kid is not afraid to take a big shot. He'll put his body on you, and I think he's going to be a very solid NBA player.
And there's the family of Travis Mays, and let's go to Greg Sagan.
Well, thank you very much. And apparently you knew you were going to the Kings. It's a surprise to some people, but the tie is so color coordinated. You got the Kings colors on. You look great in that hat.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't exactly know I was going to Sacramento, but I'm glad I wore a matching tie.
Well, you came up here, it appeared that your chest just swelled up with that selection, and the fact that you got to leave that room. Were you a little nervous as each selection went by that maybe you weren't going to get to go to any of the teams that you thought you'd interviewed with?
Yes, all the teams I had interviewed with already have picked, and I really was sitting back in the green room, really getting nervous. But I saw Sacramento coming over the second pick. I felt I had a good visit out there, and I felt they were really interested in myself, and I was hoping they'd pick me, and they did.
Well, you've got a great opportunity. There's a lot to build on there. You'll enjoy Dick Moss.
Thank you very much.
You said you'd like to go anywhere, make the most of any opportunity, but you also said growing up in Florida, playing in Texas, you didn't want to go to a cold weather city.
No, well, Sacramento is kind of cold for California, but I get enough clothes to take care of that situation. I'm just happy, and I thank God for giving me the opportunity to become an NBA player, and I'm really happy with the pick.
So is Sacramento. Let's go back to Bob Neal.
All right, so loading up with some guards at Sacramento, not only getting Bo Kimball, but remember they've got Gary Grant coming off the injury, with the Los Angeles Clippers. They've got Gary Grant coming off the injury, too, so the L.A. Clippers are looking pretty good. In Sacramento now with the selection, we're going to come up next with Miami and their second selection. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, Doug, that one's, I think, going to be real interesting, what they're going to come up with down there. I think they need somebody in the big power forward position, but the real top people have already been taken there. The next guy on the list as far as power forwards go would be Ala Abdelnaby from Duke. There's still also D. Brown, one of the top guards who's out there, and I really, right now, it's hard to really say what they're going to do. They need a big player, but I'd like to get your opinion on this one.
Well, wouldn't be surprised to see them go census at 15, saying, hey, we'll take a gamble on him. We'll maybe play Cycli a little bit as a power forward. And now they've got Willie Burton. They've got Glenn Rice. They have Sherman Douglas. Is census a gamble at 15 with his talent? They've already had one pick. We'll find out what's going on.
Yeah, that could be a very interesting one. As you say, Cycli certainly can play the power forward position, so that might be worth it.
Yeah, so I don't confuse anybody, let me make it clear. Sacramento with Lionel Simmons with their first pick, then they came back with Travis Mays, and the Los Angeles Clippers got Bo Kimball, and then they came back with Loy Vaught, and I was talking about the Los Angeles Clippers loading up with guards. If Harper and Grant come back, they're going to be a pretty healthy club, too. So let's take a look now at Dwayne Shentz and what the status of Dwayne might be. Every NBA draft is filled with question marks and uncertainty. In this year's draft, there's a bigger mystery. It's Dwayne Shentz.
I think with him right now, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. I think you're going to find not only us, but a lot of people, really running things about him over in your mind as it narrows down to the draft day to see actually where he fits in the draft. Does he go early in the draft? Does he go a little later? Because I don't think everybody has a great feel for him right now.
The thing that I like very much about him is I thought he was an outstanding passer. Could outlet the ball, start the break. Now, we've all heard of the problems and the things that have been said about him this year. And from the scout standpoint and from the NBA team standpoint, I think most people were disappointed that he arrived in Orlando at the camp very much overweight. And most people had the feeling that if he really wanted to do the job and impress people in this league, that he would have been in better physical shape.
Well, he's been surrounded with an awful lot of controversy, and, he did leave his team early, and he's overweight, and he didn't seem to be in shape down in Orlando. So those are questions that, at the present you have to look at. Why does a fellow do those things, and then, can he correct them in the future? And if he does correct them in the future, what does that mean to him as a basketball player? If he can correct those things and answer those question marks,
then given the skill level he has now, he can be an excellent basketball player.
I've been out of it for so long. I haven't played competitively for 7 months. I know I say that over and over and over again, but it's made me realize how hungry I actually am to play. I mean, I want to play so bad that nothing's going to get in the way, so I'd have to choose the number one category as being a definite impact player, because that's the way I've always been in the past, and I don't see anything changing that in the future.
So up next for pick number 15, the Miami Heat. You just took a look at Dwayne Chintis, of course, who played his college ball in Florida at the University of Florida. And we'll be finding out whether Dwayne Chintis will help make Miami bigger or will they go smaller. Here's David Stern.
With the 15th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Dave Jamerson from Ohio U.
Dave Jamerson, a two-guard from Ohio University. He's 6'4", nearly 6'5". He was the most valuable player at the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. Some people call him a mini Dan Marley, and as well as Dan Marley's been playing lately, that's a real big compliment. A little better shooter maybe, but certainly not as physical as Dan Marley. But Dave Jamerson goes to Miami.
Well, he has a very quick release on his shot, and you can see he takes it without really putting it on the floor. He's not a guy that's going to drive it to the basket. If you see him here with a nice steal, he has great anticipation. He had a great postseason. Can take the ball a little bit to the basket. There you see on the break. Great range on his shot. Maybe the best pure shooter coming out in this draft.
Yeah, and I tell you, that pick right there, I'm sure has struck a lot of people up who are waiting to get a chance at this young man. Very quality shooter, as Doug said, one of the best shooters and one of the best shooters with range. I can guarantee you that. And now I'll tell you who's going to really be on the spot right now. The guy by the name of Glenn Rice. They got some pretty talented young people now coming to join this team, and Glenn better not show up out of shape at camp this year.
All right, now I said maybe Miami and Houston's got something going. Houston needs a shooter. Will Jamerson end up in Houston? Kessler, they like him in Miami.
Yeah.
My thing is they got something going, those two.
Could be Miami, Houston. You heard the prediction. We'll see if it happens. We'll take a commercial break. I can tell you that that's going to happen for certain.
Satisfaction. No one satisfies you in more ways and in more countries around the world. ITD Sheraton Hotels, inns, resorts, and all suites. Sheraton Satisfaction. Come feel it for yourself.
We saw a burning beyond just like you, a burning beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative, and I help people review their life insurance needs because I know how much the right life insurance means to me and my family.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The rock, love, Prudential, above and beyond.
Rusty's back in town. The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. You better hold on.
Let me get this straight. You're Jim?
Yeah, people mix us up a lot. I'm John. He's Jim. Mr. Three-Point Shooter used to miss 3 points on his face till I got him to shave with a Slim Twin disposable. I'm John.
It has a narrow head.
Just like our little brother Mike. So you can shave hard-to-reach places.
He's got a special bar to keep his blades clean. I thought he was John.
The Slim Twin Disposable reaches every place on every face.
Who are you?
I'm the guy with the narrow head.
From Schick,